Oh my god, it's adorable. Look at it. It's wider than it is long. It's adorable. It's amazing. It's whelming. It's a small little dude. It's not adding like, oh my god, you're gonna use it. Well, maybe you're gonna use it all the time. I don't know. It's not a big road crazy, like sexy, oh my god, look at how giant this train is. But it's adorable. It's so cute. Yeah. The BE2. The Battery Electric 2. 2 axles, 2 traction motors. It's entirely electric. And it's entirely actually pretty cool. But yeah, definitely not a, gut punching choo-choo. But I think it's going to be really cool. Summonable by comms radio. You can grab whatever you want from the work train menu, just natively. So you could say, yeah, I want this one. $2,500, that's it. You can call it. So, if your name's Heist and you blow up your locomotive because you ES&D, you can then finish the job with this cute little dude that is going to be really useful, I think. Oh, yeah. What's up, guys? This is Heist. Yeah. New locomotive in Deer Valley. Love to see it. Yes, is it itty-bitty and not like, oh my god, look, it's a giant steam engine or a giant new diesel or something that is on that end. It's very much in the small corner of the world. But is it very cool? Yeah. Am I going to use it? Probably here and there. Yeah. It's actually probably more useful than the DE2 in many cases, I would think. So it's going to be a great way to help utilize new things and do new things. But yeah, we're playing career mode. We got some money, like 230,000, yep, ish. And that's after we bought this. To get this new locomotive, by the way, you have to unlock it in career mode, which I did on stream. If you didn't catch the stream, it was a very fun stream. And my reaction to not this, but the changes to the DE6, definitely worth watching. I'll try and remember to put a link to it. Definitely a fun thing. Yeah, go check it out. But you have to buy the key at the Food Factory store. And then it is located right here at the end of this spur off of Machine Factory adjacent things between the Iron Mine West and the Machine Factory. This is where you actually get that little locomotive. That's where we're at right now. Obviously, career mode doesn't show up. I guess now they also show where electric chargers are because it's an entirely electric locomotive. It's battery electric, and it apparently has a little plug on it somewhere that. And you plug in a big pin thingy to that, and it charges it up. And then it can run again. And in my little bit of testing on the stream, this thing actually, does the thing. It actually goes a pretty decent distance on the charge it has. You can see the charge there, and apparently it's charge and voltage shown on the battery gauge. So it's actually pretty solid in terms of what it is. And I'm a bit of a fan, so we're gonna definitely try and see if we can use it when necessary. It's neat. It doesn't have a brake. It doesn't have an independent brake. It only has an automatic, so only for the train cars. And then it's got a handbrake, which with something this small, you don't need anything more than this, right? Reversers right here, and it's so funny. The cab is sideways. You don't look forward, which is neat. You look out one of the two windows, which both open, which is kind of fun. Get a little airflow going. But yeah, headlight switch, cab light switch, getting just the gauges, the whole thing, all that, sand on or off, your breakers for your things, fun stuff. Hilarious horn. And it makes a great noise, the sound. It makes transit electric rectifying sounds, for lack of a better term. It's pretty cool. It's a cute little dude, and I'm really gonna enjoy using it. I think it's gonna be interesting to find out just how much you're actually going to interact with it in game, but we'll find out. Anyway, we're here kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it's nighttime, so I'd like to get back to somewhere and make it daytime because I know how much fun the nighttime videos are to watch. So we're gonna do that. But you know, we gotta rent a place. So they changed so much good stuff about the DE6. Like, I'm gonna run with the DE6 today because what they changed about it and the way it is now is just utterly fantastic. I mean, I was literally foaming at the mouth over the changes they made. It's so freaking cool. And I gotta be careful as we go because one of the changes in the update is they reworked electrification and traction motor things. And so you can overspeed the motors. And so if you get going about 50, you will smoke that poor thing's little traction motors. So we don't want to do that. We're bringing it with us because as much fun as summoning it for $2,500 would be, we need to get out of debt. We have a debt to pay. So we kind of need to save money. And $2,500 isn't a lot, but you know, it's some. So anyway, the changes in general that they made with this update are huge. And I should probably pull up the changelog and actually talk about it. Because every time I talk about video game updates, I always forget to do that, and it always feels stupid. So let me get off the branch here. We'll head to the machine factory, and then we'll talk about that. So let me set up some air. Be right back. I'm gonna have the changelog, and then we will talk about all fun things update-wise. All right, I've pulled up the changelog. We're gonna read it while running to the machine factory. Nothing poorly can happen, right? Right? Poorly happen? Nothing can go wrong. That one. Anyway, this is build 98, I believe. DRL Valley? Is that right? Yeah, build 98. The micro shunner is the big star. This little boy. The little doot. We were jokingly calling it Dootsy on stream. It's Dootsy. That's its name. It's canon. Sorry, too late. Tiny, quirky, new battery electric shunner takes the spotlight. It's 2 practical functions. It's the first vehicle to utilize entirely electronic powertrain sim. And once unlocked, it can be requested anywhere with the comms radio. Yeah, it's not powerful enough to replace a normal loco, but it can pull a little bit. And that combined with its size and ability to be requested, gives it a unique advantage in many situations. Mind how you treat it though, as you'll need to service it and even charge its battery occasionally. Now, so that's little dude. That's the big thing in the update. Well, actually, the small thing, but anyway. The subtext for the update is the DE simulation revamp, so diesel electric. And this is actually what I think is so cool, and we're gonna nerd out about while we play the DE6 today. We've revamped, or rather finished, the diesel electric powertrain simulation, now vastly more accurate when it comes to governors, generators, currents, voltages, circuitry, transitions, as well as features from all the new traction motor overspeeding. DE locomotives have received a complete overhaul in terms of behavior and characteristics, with the highlights being DE2, increased load, better cooling, heavier engine feel and rebalancing the wear and tear. DE6, completely new sounds, more accurate notch distribution, rebalanced wear and tear, and then DE6 Slug can now be utilized from both ends and behaves differently. I've not played with the Slug yet, and I always forget about the Slug, as you guys are patently aware. So we're gonna try that out. There's also a vehicle catalog, so you can really look through and see all of the details in depth on the locomotive, and it's really freaking cool, actually. Every locomotive and all the things are in here, and some of the other stuff, and it gives you all of the different little details about everything. How much they're worth, what do they do, are they easy to run, you know, all that fun stuff in general. And then and the biggest thing for me on this is it's got the bloody tonnage ratings on flat and also on a 2% grade in the dry and the wet listed, which, oh my god, the amount of times I'm shooting a video and I pull up Reddit on my phone to find the thread of people being like, hey, how powerful are the trains? To remember what they are is almost every episode. If I'm pushing the tonnage limits, like every single time I check. But now it's just here. It's quality of life. It's there. And the steam engine, ease of operation. So hard. So awful. Oh my god. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I really, really appreciate this ad, and it's going to be really helpful for the people that don't know locomotives like the back of their hand. Like, I know that I've been there, done that, run all 3 types of locomotives before. Electric, diesel, electric, and then steam engines, of course. And this is my everyday, my everything is trains, right? So my experience is going to be vastly different to yours. So that manual is like super helpful if you're not a crazy train person. You know, it's really freaking cool. So great update there. Other little pieces, work train improvements. Some work trains like the Micro Shunner and Slug are now able to be damaged. And the only way to repair them is you have to go take them and repair them at a repair shop. They're not covered by insurance. And yeah, that's interesting. The handcar and the caboose are still invincible for many different reasons. It's pretty neat. It's fun. And you can now see the status of all the trains in your career manager. So you see what's going on there. Handcar is also free, available to request at all times, which is especially helpful for needing to move around in realistic difficulty. Oh my word, my F key, thanks to Deer Valley devs. I've only played with the handcar the one time on a stream, and it always felt kind of pointless. Like, it's a bit of a meme. Why are we using this? Like, why is this even a thing? But now that it is requestable and it's free, and pow, here it is. That is genius. And you really do actually have to scroll down, scroll up, scroll down, the whole thing, make it run and do the thing, and dunk. Yeah, that's gonna save me and my F key so much trouble. Very excited by that. You can also change your height in non-VR and VR. X plus mouse wheel, apparently. Oh, yeah, you could just change where you're natively standing or sitting, rather than, you know, we already kind of crouch, but if you want to go lower, if you want to go higher or whatever, it just lets you do that, which is really nice for actually seeing out the window of the trains, which is great. So yeah, love to see it. And then lots of little performance improvements, new tutorial stuff, and a bunch of other little fixes. So huge freaking update. It's not often we get big updates for Deer Valley. It's only here and there, but when they do, they seem to make them a banger. I mean, they're just awesome. So huge props, huge thanks to Alt Future and the Deer Valley team. Yeah, we're gonna nerd out about that DE6 in just a minute, but we need to see what kind of jobs we can do today. So we're gonna jump over to the station and see what's up. Oh my word. Oh, that's right. Passenger jobs mod is back up and doing the thing. I was having some challenge with it earlier, and I ended up not having a necessary mod for it to be installed. So passenger jobs not default in the game yet, of course, but they are an option, and they're quite fun. And the mod is actually pretty cool too, where it now adds a bunch of extra stations. That's what all these little pinkish, purplish dots are all of these kind of mid-track stations. And so you can pull up and stop at any of those locations, you know, depending on what kind of train you are, as far as passenger goes. So sometimes it'll say like, hey, you're going to make stops at, you know, all these intermediate stations, which is really cool. So there are a couple passenger trains, which is fun. Maybe we do one of those. I don't know. 63K bonus with on-time completion. That's spicy. Intercity Express, we kind of like that. Can't do the logistical haul because it's the MacGuffin. Yeah, and then the rest of these jobs are boring as hell. So I guess we'll run a passenger train. Why not? It's been a minute since we've done one of them. Machine factory to food factory. So we're running up and out that way. Does it have intermediate stops? Stop it. Oh, City Southwest. Oh, interesting. Okay, so yeah, we're running from Machine Factory to City Southwest, then up to the food factory. So we're going to take that chunk of railroad that we never use. That's interesting. Cool. Yeah, City Southwest to food factory. Yeah, that's it's interesting. That's not what I was expecting. But yeah, we're going to do that. So yeah, of course it doesn't give us a reason to use the new Doot, unfortunately. But you know, the new Doot is kind of specific in that way. So let's see, we're basically at the passenger station. So we're gonna have to run around these cars. So well, yeah, we'll just kind of dump the little Doot off and see if we end up needing it later for some reason. But yeah, it's a cute little thing. Really do like it. Oh, and I said I was gonna sleep. I should probably go sleep. That'd probably be a good thing. Let me get the little Doot out the way, and we'll do that. And for the curious of you, yes, it'll wheel slip. Very fun. The little Doot really just, like, it's kind of hilarious in the way it is. It is not fast enough to cause problems. Like, it's the perfect vehicle for the ES&D or the ES&DT, because we tried over and over and over and over and over again to blow up tank cars with it, and it just could not get going fast enough, even with a bunch of them, to actually cause an explosion. It was a wee bit hilarious. So yeah, again, if you didn't watch that stream, check out the VOD. And you should watch the streams. The streams are so fun. They're some of my favorite stuff. I get to directly interact with you guys. It's a great time. Sleep in bed. This is a couch. Just saying. It's fine. We'll sleep for 9 hours. 10 in the morning. Should be nice. Yep. Yes. Bedtime. Pow. Thankfully, there are no monsters nearby. Wait, wrong game. It's fine. Hopefully they didn't simulate the diesel idling for 9 hours while I did that. That would be unfortunate. Should have shut it down. Didn't think about that. It's going to be souped up. It's going to have all the oil all over the place. Sounds like they shut it down for me. It's good. Or it ran out of fuel. No, it didn't. Cool. It did not bother to simulate that, and thank you for not simulating that. That's very helpful, actually. Literally. It's fine. All right. Keep that guy running. There we go. Got the engine all started up, and now we're gonna run around the train and get on the passenger cars and do the thing. It should be more than enough tonnage and speed and everything for us to use just one DE6 and not have to care. Oh, handbrake. I guess it tied a handbrake too. It's fine. There we go. Notching her up. Now, a little early on finishing the crossing signal. It's fine. It's fine. Not a big deal. And got the sounds. Yeah, we're gonna nerd out. We're gonna nerd out about all the things along the way when we get there. And our train is the long one. So yeah, it's that train, not this one. They're nice looking coaches. The passenger mod is so fun. They're gonna eventually add normal passenger just as a part of D-Roll Valley, but they've been focused on many other things. And as I've found out recently, software is intrinsically frustrating, long, and stupid to work with in every way you could ever imagine, and many more. So I totally recognize Alt Future's struggle and challenge with getting some of these things done. It may seem simple to just, oh yeah, add passenger and call it a day, but the reality of it is very different. So I totally get that now. I have way more perspective than I ever did or ever wanted, and here we are. So they're fighting the good fight, doing cool things, making cool stuff, and I really appreciate what they do. So cheers to you, Alt Future team. Anyway, let's back this booty up and go connect to our cars. Every time that happens, giggles. Okay, so idle, let it be the thing. See the engine RPM. Okay, let's drop it down a wee bit. I put it in notch 1. and you hear the contactor, it loads, and it bogs the engine down. So cool. And you hear the engine respond that way. That's one of those little details they don't even think about, because when you get all the electrics set up, you're spinning an alternator all the time. Hee hee ha ha, yes indeed. Oh look, it's a Pacific. We'll play with you again, Wheel Arrangement Mod. Satiric, if you're out there watching. Yeah, there's a dope update for that. That's gonna have to be its own video at some point. Hopefully soon, but yeah, super cool. Anyway, yeah, you're spinning the alternator or generator, depending on how equipped, all the time on a diesel engine. They're connected to the crank of the engine itself, usually on some sort of flexible coupling of some variety. In the case of these EMDs, they have what's called a flex plate, which is just a giant flexible connection to allow the alternator to be misaligned by, just a smidgen, because kind of, you never know if you can get it perfectly bang on, and directly coupling things in most engineering applications is usually a mistake. So that's a whole thing. But you're always spinning it, but it's not actually loading and generating any current until you set the reverser, set the throttle. Then it is trying to actually excite and load and do the things. And that means the second you put it in notch 1, it puts a huge amount of mechanical resistance on the engine. So we're notched back. All right, we're in reverse. Notch 1, kapow. Instantaneously, it eats the engine a little bit because it's now requesting so much force to spin it at the speed it wants to spin. Generate the amount of electricity that it needs to generate. Oh, that's cool. The air compressor just kicked on. Oh, I didn't even notice that on the stream. That's awesome. That just sounds right. That was cool. Okay, we're gonna have to nerd out about that too. Anyway, yeah, stuff things words. As soon as the engine bogs down, I mean, the electronics happen as soon as you put the controller in notch 1. Kapow, like right away, right? And then the actual change to the engine doesn't know it needs to speed up until that's happened. So your electronics say, hey, I need this, I'm gonna supply this, you put this big load on the engine, and it takes the engine a little bit to speed up because it's a giant diesel engine. The one in this locomotive has 567 cubic inch cylinders. 567, I mean, it's ridiculous. That is a V16 diesel engine where each cylinder is bigger than my entire Pontiac muscle car's engine is. If you haven't seen the channel and you don't know, I own a 68 GTO, which I love. Super fun. But it's only got a 400 in it. So, three quarters, 2/3, somewhere in there, the cubic inches of each cylinder in this V16. So yeah, it's a lot of mass to speed up and make the thing happen. So it's a little hard to do that. So it takes it a minute to kind of get up to speed and whatever, and then it'll meet the demand. And obviously, like turbos and blowers and things help and change that a little bit. But it's super freaking cool. All right, well, we're gonna be good kids, and we're gonna request a hand car, and we're gonna go pedal our butts down to the other end of the line here, so that we can accept our job, and then we'll run it back. Oh my god, you can get going dumb quick on this thing, and it just hurts my scroll wheel, which is a lot happier than hurting my keyboard. Oh god, we're gonna nail the new BE2 though. I don't know, they're both lightweight. It's probably fine. And dunk. Oh goodness, that's funny. All right, job. Ka-chow. Oh, I don't have the passenger license. That would be fun. Oh my god, I can't buy license. Oh my. Okay. Right. Mod reinstalled. I can't buy a license. I have to clear my fees. Well, that's funny, isn't it? And that's a $100,000 license. And what are our fees? Yeah, we have to pay all those to reduce the copay down to $148,000. Crap. Remember when we were gonna run a passenger train? Right. Not a passenger train. These jobs suck. We're gonna go somewhere else. Not quit. Map. The map. The lid. We're gonna go to the oil well. We're gonna haul some boys. What's happening? I can't believe I switched and got that all set up and then didn't have the license. I'm feeling a little dumb. It's fine. Anyway, it's shunting me. Methane to food factory. Cool. Methane to goods factory. Two big jobs of methane to food factory. It's only like 1,000-ish tons, and then a machine. Lots of methane. Lots of cow farts today. We're hauling cow farts. Pressurized, liquid cow farts. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay. 2 trains to food factory. They are the 66 and the 92. 66 and the 92. These are never the ones. It's gonna be one of these on the tracks here. It's probably these two actually. 66, 91, 66, 92. Okay, so it's not that one. It's gonna be this one then. Yeah, 92. Okay, so we got that track, and then skip one, and then this track. Okay. Now we go hope that there's a DE6 at the pool of train over there. Yes, there is. Excellent. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna run some boys. We're not running a passenger train. You can't even run a passenger train. That's fine. I promise. I promise I knew that. I promised I realized that. It's fine. And food factory from oil well. You can go either way, really, but I don't want to turn the locomotive around, and this way is the objectively better way anyway, so yeah, let's do that. All right, hop in the DE6, open up our breaker cabinet, giggle for eternity that they have changed the breakers to be correct. Alt future, I could kiss you. Not actually, but like, thank you. Oh my God. How many times have I complained about this being the knife switch and being all of the electricity, and it's wrong? And here it is. Traction motors, starter, the whole thing, and then the electrics. Is it a completely accurate fuse box and switch box, circuit panel, breaker, circuit breaker panel? Yeah, that. No, but do you want an actual accurate EMD circuit breaker panel? No. Do you know how much crap that these locomotives have, all these systems and things? That's not fun for any normal human to have to deal with. Like, no. They've right-sized it very well into the 3 couple little distinct things that you actually run with. Which, I mean, fun, good, obviously, like, a great game design rather than being a digital job, but you do miss out on the fun of having the turbo lube pump breaker, which you can make all sorts of jokes about, because, you know, it's the turbo lube pump. Although, actually, you wouldn't have one on this because its root's blown, so never mind. You miss out on that either way. Yeah, the turbos on these EMD diesel locomotives, not like this one because this one doesn't have one, as we just said. On the turbocharged EMDs, they're actually not truly a turbo until they get up past like notch 6-ish. Somewhere in there, the exhaust pressure becomes high enough to actually let it overcome a clutch that the turbo rides on. So the turbo is mechanically driven by an EMD locomotive of any variety, any of the turbocharged engines. It's driven by that clutch until about notch 6, then the exhaust pressure is high enough to actually spin it even faster. And it's on an 18-to-1 gear ratio off the crank. So, you know, we're spinning at 300-ish right now. Okay, 18 times 3. That many. That many RPMs is what the turbo would be doing, which is like 50-something thousand. I mean, it's ridiculous. Or no, not 50-something, like 5-something thousand. Yeah, that one. So it's kind of insane how quick that turbo spins. And as such, you need to make sure it's well lubricated so that it's not going to come apart and explode, because they're expensive. I want to say when I worked for the railroad back in 2017 through 2020, running street price for us at the BNSF was about $70,000-ish for just the turbo, just the material, not even the time it took to install it, which was usually an entire shift of 2 machinists. So you add that small labor cost in on top of the $70,000 turbo, and yeah, whole thing. So you don't want to melt it, you don't want to break it, you don't want to have it burn up and be done, right? And so you'd be concerned about that. And so they have the turbo lube pump, which is its own separate electric pump with its own separate breaker that then supplies oil to the turbo directly. And when you go and set the locomotive up to start, it starts running that pump beforehand so that you're already getting oil at pressure to the turbo. Because if you're waiting for the engine's oil pumps that do supply the turbo, if you're waiting for those to start it, they got to run all the way through the engine to the turbo. They got to like create all that pressure and everything, and they have to spin pretty quick for that to happen. And so it actually takes a fair amount of time for the oil pressure to come up on the engine itself, which for the slow-speed diesel engine that is currently rocking like 300 some RPM, doesn't really matter. It'll get oil and it'll be fine, and it kind of sits in the bath of oil in the crankcase and all that, and it's, you know, several hundred gallons. It might only be 200 gallons. I don't remember. Been a minute. Of oil that they hold. That's no big deal. But for the turbo trying to spin that quick, it's got to get that engine oil right away. So there's a turbo lube pump, and it turbo lubes the turbo. Yeah, there was a... right after I left the railroad, there was an incident at my shop, which I claim zero responsibility for, where one of the guys, who's kind of the class clown of the shop, ended up having stickers that were medical stickers talking about the way that medications can be consumed. You know, sometimes you take it in the mouth, and sometimes you take it, you know, via other places, right? The ones down south. And so they have stickers that say, like, hey, only use this there. And maybe somebody gave the class clown a roll of 500 of those, and maybe there was an HR nightmare investigation that happened because all the turbo lube pump breakers got stickers that said that added to them. You know, it's fine. Right, that might have been a thing. I heard about it. Definitely didn't have anything to do with it. Nope. No way. No how. It's fine. I know that like 6 of my former employees and co-workers-ish watch the channel, so they'll recall that fondly. But yeah, no, the shop's closed. Single tier. Rest in peace, Interbay. It's all in Vancouver, Washington now. So anyway, it's fine. But yeah, turbo lube pump. I mean, very important. So like, is that one of the many breakers? Yeah. How many breakers are actually in this box? God help you. A lot. If I had to guess, probably 40 or 50. Like, there's just tons of them. Like every little system. There's so many systems on a locomotive. I mean, they really just get extremely complex. More so than you could ever imagine. And when there was an electrical failure on a locomotive, oh my God. Like, God help you. Hopefully you had Charlie the Wizard on shift that day, and hopefully he was going to just fix it for you by being a genius. Because otherwise, the train was not going to run. Yeah, it's quite the chore to troubleshoot and fix those locomotives when they break. So, yeah. All right, let's see. That is the right job. Yeah, 92. Cool. All right. And then we'll run this up to the front. Air's still charging. It's fine. Notch her up. Oh, I didn't get a handbrake. Where's the handbrake? Please let it be this one. Yay, thank you. Thank you, game. For treating me with handbrake respect that I don't deserve. Yeah, God, that's cool. You can hear the compressor. And then it kicked off. So, air compressors on these EMDs are neat. They live back here at the back end of the locomotive. This is a weird one. I mean, it's Slavic export something.png. I don't remember what it actually is. So it's so similar to what I know and dealt with. I wouldn't say worked on because I didn't work on them. I was management. Ew. so similar yet so different at the same time, but the general schema is still the same thing of the air compressor would be at the back, and it's driven off of a shaft connecting to the engine off the crankshaft. And so it's mechanically coupled entirely. So as the engine spins, that's how fast the air compressor spins. And one neat piece of sim that they've always had in the game is that it's tied in directly with what you're doing, right? So the more you throttle up, speed up the engine, the faster the air compressor runs, the more air it generates. And they've had that simmed, at least for all of Simulator. I don't know if it was before that or not. I think it was. Like they had that piece of sim figured out super early, and it was super cool to see. But the nifty thing is the new little sounds that they've added are the sounds of the air compressor for real, which I never noticed before. They might have been there, but not to this extent. Because the way that you stop the air compressor from compressing air, because you hit main res, and rather than just blowing a main reservoir safety constantly all the time, what happens is there's an unloader, which is a neat device that causes the cylinders to have no compression. I mean, it's basically a valve that's got a hole to the atmosphere in it. And so when the unloader opens, the valve no longer, or the compressor's cylinders no longer actually generate any pressure. So the compressor is still spinning, still doing the thing, and you're just preventing it from building any air. So rather than popping safety valves and whatever, or over-pressurizing the tank, you just stop it from being able to generate it. And you can hear that. They've modeled the sounds for that. And then you hear the compressor do its thing, and it makes, I mean, it's a little engine. I mean, it's almost like a steam engine, except radial, and it's usually, I think they're 3-cylinder, I don't remember. And so the pistons get spun around by the crank and then do the thing, and it's great. And they make a very specific sound when it does the thing, which is really fun. And they've modeled that, and the sound of the unloader doing the thing and whatever, and kicking on, kicking off, really cool. So the attention to detail there by Alt Future is awesome. I love to see it. It's a neat specific sound. It's definitely not as noticeable to the untrained ear as something like a GE locomotive's air compressor, like a Dash 9 or a Dash 8 or an ES44, where commonly known as an Evo by, the industry. Foamers call them GEVOs, but, that's fine. And here's my friends now coming to the comments to say that I'm the only one that gets mad about that, and that's probably true, but you know me. I'm an opinionated individual, so... Bang. Air is tied in. It's fine. It's great. Cool. Katunk. Yep. Good. Oh, God, we're going to have to pay some of our debt and able to actually take these cars out. I guess we're by the station, and it's a 68-minute time bonus. We'll be fine. Yeah, that's the whole thing. But yeah, the GE locomotives, their air compressors run off of, they're just separate entirely. They're not run off the engine at all. So we'll talk about them as soon as I accept the jobs, because we got to give it the beans. The beans! Yeah, that one. Yes, I could save money, but no. It's all going down the whole toilet anyways. 11 grand? Yeah, that's enough. Okay, cool. All right, pow, got him. Got the trains built up, 1 diesel, 1,000 tons-ish. Let's rock. Let's boogie. GE engines, Evo, whatever, Dash 9, all the fun. They have their air compressors as an entirely separate system that is picked up by, like, a relay picks up or drops out or something. Some amount of electrical shenanigans happens. Welcome to how trains work. And then they then it goes, and the compressor runs. It's run off a big motor. Then it does its thing, and then it stops. And the GE engines, the reason we're talking about them is that they make it sounds like a sound out of Star Trek. It goes whoop, and then they go as the compressor goes, and it's very obvious when it happens, which is a fun piece of Foley and sound and all this stuff. So. But yeah, the EMD's unloader is a little bit more nuanced. It's not an obvious R2-D2-esque sound. Anyway, yeah, look at this. Look at how many amps we're pulling and how it's not heating it up stupid quick right now. They rebalanced the sim, and they changed the gauge. You've heard me complain about the amp gauge being silly and not being able to pull enough amperage in braking specifically. And now you can. It goes from -9 to 15, whereas before it went from like -3 to 15 or 12 or something. And we're running comfortably in the 900 amp range. And it's not smoking us to death. And it just transitioned again. That's neat. Or just transitioned. I guess that's probably the first transition. I know that it transitions multiple times, actually. But I don't remember, at least it used to, but I don't know if that's accurate to the locomotive or not. So, shrug. The electrical side was not something I ever got taught, unfortunately. You've also heard me complain about the engine RPM being wrong. And there it is, bang on 900. It looks like it's less than 900 because that's the way the gauge be when you look at it in certain ways. And parallax is a whole fun thing with gauges of any variety. But if you look at it in the code, or if you actually get a readout in the UI of how many amps or how many RPMs it's doing, it is actually bang on 900, which is really cool because that is the true top speed of these EMD engines. Almost all of them are 900 plus or minus a little bit. Like I want to say the governors on the SD40s were actually set for a 902. But this being whatever export, whatever it is, yeah, different. And we're pulling like, I mean, even 1,000 amps now, and it's not smoking the traction motors to death, which is realistic. We've got it in run 8, and it's handling the amps. It's handling the load. Yes, it's heating up, but that's what it would do. It's not immediately going to the space, you know, to moon, to the space or to moon. Yes, goodness, I can't talk today. Picked a great day to record. It's fine. Yeah. So before, where you put it in run 8, you're going too slow. You're drawing too many amps. It just immediately melted the traction motors. This is now so much more accurate and realistic, and it's cool as hell that it does that. And it sounds great. That sounds like a roots blown EMD working its butt off. Like they actually developed this. I mean, it just sounds right. It's not hokey. It's not wrong. It's not. There's not any of that. Like I don't have any little nitpicky comments. How do you know it's good? Heist didn't find something to complain about. I mean, yes, I'm sorry that I'm that way, but that's me. And you know what? I'm not gonna apologize. That's me. Like, if you get offended by it, then get offended by it. But that's the way I am, and that's how picky I am. And yes, I mean, this is Deer Valley. It's not like a hardcore. We're trying to be a perfect sim in name, but they do it so much better than almost anyone else. Yeah, it's great. So the fact that they wanted this realism, super cool. Maybe they'll move the position of the automatic next. Actually, you know, I could see why they'd leave it there for VR's sake. That might be a game dev kind of nuanced thing. That's fair and fine then. Which, whatever. It's a VR game first and foremost, and I always forget that because I don't play in VR ever. Because I really don't have space for it. I do have a headset, but it's a whole thing to set up. And then my office is itty bitty, so it's kind of hard to actually enjoy and use. Yes, is it like practical to play in a small space? Yeah. Is that me digging an alt feature? No. I've just, you know, flung coal into the firebox and flung my knuckle into the desk and started bleeding before because I get a little too into it in the moment. So I don't need to harm myself for the content, and I hope you're okay with that. So anyway, yeah, just a brilliant update by Alt Future. The sounds, we've left it at notch whatever we go to whatever, but listening to it spool up, spool down, the contactors, everything. And yeah, I just ripped it to 8 or 10 or whatever notch it is. And it takes a minute to build back up to speed. So accurate, so correct, so cool. Like, come on, man. Love it. They really made a great change with this update. And not one that I expected or like even necessarily wanted. Yes, I was nitpicky and complained about a lot of the little dumb details that they've now since fixed. but that didn't make it unfun before. That didn't make it like, was not earth-shattering or ridiculous. Like, it was still a fun game to play, duh, and the engines were fun to run and all that stuff. And we're just careening around this bend at 10 over the speed limit. It's fine. The speed limit just changed to 80, and we're doing, a little bit more than 80. That's great. And there's a 70. Maybe I should shut down for this one. Yeah, and we'll just listen to the engine spool down and giggle a little bit and move on. Yeah, they didn't have to make this update, and they did. And it's just increased the accuracy and to me, made it a lot more fun in that way. Is it going to be a huge update for everyone that is not a giant train nerd? Maybe, maybe not. It's not going to seem like a big thing, but to me, as neat as the battery shunter is, like the change, the DE6, the vibe of this locomotive, the stupid dumb change of changing the electric breaker to be the knife switch properly. Oh my god. It just tickles me pink. Like, they really care and strive for the accuracy, and I feel heard and I feel seen. I love it. You validated me, and I love it. So, yeah, there's one of the platforms. Why is there one there? Because passenger train stop and field. Yeah, it's fine. Those are cool. That's part of the passenger jobs mod, of course, as we talked about. But that really added a fun variety of flavor to that mod and that experience too. We ran a passenger train with a duplex steam engine on stream last Saturday, and it was so much fun. It sounded so good. It felt so cool, and those little extra platforms, just like super neat touch, super cool little ads. So cheers to whoever made the mod on that front. It's fine. It's fine. Flange scraping. It's fine. It's fine. Fine. We didn't come off. Gonna get back into the power. Wide open. Watch it slowly load back up. Yeah. Love it. Just fun. Just good stuff. I think this is still a 70. I think. He says doing 80. If not, then we get to watch the countryside burn down and the debt goes in higher. It's fine. That's allegedly entertaining. As painful as it can be sometimes. It's fine. Yeah, anyway. Line to the left. Good. Cool. Yep. Line through. That 60 is for the fact that there's the junction coming up. It's not actually a 60. Because, yeah, then you get 100 right here. For 4 feet, then you get another 60. So maybe I'm full of crap and we'll put it in full dynos here. Oh, that's cool. Sounds of the motors, the whole thing. And it's still 60. We're really not slowing down. We have a lot of weight behind us, though. Oh, crap. Oh, God. 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 Dump. I just dumped every bit of air that I had, basically. We'll let it release and recover. Kick the dynos off. Pull the stick to full. And remember, freight doesn't complain, kids. Passengers do. But this is the ES&DT. We don't listen to complaints anyways. So treat it all the same and play the accordion with your train. It's important. Everyone likes a good polka. Yeah, wow, that was a very different feel. The dynamic braking, I wonder if they touched that. I don't know. I mean, I haven't run one DE6 in such a long train in a while, so that might be all it is. And I might be just thinking it's new and shiny because I haven't experienced it before. But we have, that's 13 cars, 546 tons. And that's 14 cars, 588 tons. So, I mean, we're talking about 1,100 tons of train and one engine, so it's a whole thing. C4 inbound, C6 inbound. That's not too bad of a switching setup. We'll live with that. It's fine. Yeah, goodness. I kind of have to want to play with the DE2 now. Like, the amount of change this has happened. I mean, we've made so many jokes about, nicely roasting some garlic with the traction motors. Put a little thyme and rosemary in there. You're gonna make a nice steak. We've joked about that so many times because, like, you put it in full throttle and it just explodes the traction motor. and now it just doesn't, and that's outstanding. I'm a huge fan of it. Now we're pulling 1,000 amps plus right now, and it is warming up, but it's not pegging the needle and blowing my entire life up instantaneously like it used to do. So that's really cool. I know I've talked about a couple times before the load rating on our next to our amp gauge on our SD40T-2 at the museum, which electrically would be more modern than this guy. This guy is a non-2 electronics kind of locomotive. It's an original EMD style where you would open up these cabinets and it would just be chock full of relays. From non-2, so like a GP38 versus a GP38-2 is what I mean by that in the designation. When you get a -2, this is pretty standard across every railroad, you end up getting a rack of cards that are solid-state digital computers, basically, and like a 16th the amount of relays back there to make all the electrics work and be a thing. This would be in the pile of relays version. The SD40T-2 would be in the solid-state, stuff, and that's pretty consistent. -3 is where it gets strange, where the railroads kind of don't agree on what a -3 is, and everyone kind of designates things differently there. So that's the whole thing. But the point is, electrically, other than the control schema being very different, the actual loading characteristics, the generator versus alternator, traction motor sizing, all that stuff, is actually very similar between this 6-axle, export locomotive and the SD40T-2 that I know. And it's got a load limit sticker or plaque or tag or something. I think it's actually a tag. It's like brass or whatever. Right there, and it's like, yeah, you can be at 1,500 amps for something like 15 minutes or something, or you could be at 1,200 for an hour, the continuous load rating. And now it's so much more accurate to that, because we've been pulling like more than 1,000 amps this entire time, and it just doesn't care. It's doing the do. It feels so cool. Like, it really makes this locomotive feel more useful in that way, because before it's kind of like, oh my god, this thing is like, you throw it, it's got all this power, but you can't use it because it overheats so quick. And now it's scaled and it does the thing, and that's just freaking outstanding. So, huge fan. We're almost there. We're finally speeding up a little bit too. This is the 40s here. I know there's another 30 coming up. We just went around that junction and we got all the spaghetti to get to before we get to the food factory. But downhill with all this train, we're finally speeding up, and the motors, they're even cooling off. So in the yellow region. And God, I don't even know what you would have to do to make this thing pull 1,500 amps. Maybe throw it all the way in 8 right away, and it would do the thing. But okay, grab dynos. Much more responsive feeling this time. Like, extremely much so. It's interesting. What was that? What? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 You're not serious? That didn't happen. That didn't just happen. That didn't just happen? Why are the dynamics so much more responsible, Heis? I don't know! 'Cause you blew up the train and derailed it, you dum-dum! Oh my god. Wow. And Khan and I have had discussions, and he's complained about the fact that they don't simulate the derailment physics on anything behind the locomotive because he was going too fast for the speed limit, and nothing's ever happened. And here we are. No, they do. It's just that, your experience is not what they simulate necessarily. Wow. Oops. Okay. Well, that job is toast. Literally. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna have more of a date to pay. I guess we can go up and find the... I can't believe it did not make the whole thing blow up And why are the dynamics so responsible? The train went in the dirt and it dumped the air. A hose broke back there somewhere. And I guess we're gonna be making half the profit we thought we were gonna be making. It's fine. 855 and 912 are the ones we want to keep versus 127.34. 32, is that still in this job? No, it's not in this job. 132 is not in this job either? Am I bad at reading? No, there it is, 132, okay. So like 4 more cars this way. Oh my god. The blue one, this boy. It's maybe a snub. That one. 912, there it is. And then this guy is the last job for the 66. It's the 92. We'll pop it here. Doesn't matter. Like, literally does not matter. These cars are dead. They're dead, Jim. We should, we'll have to come back and blow them all up now, I guess. Wow. You ever feel really stupid? I wonder if it was overspeed around the curve? Or if it was just me jerking the train around too hard, or what? Ouch. Yowza. That was unfortunate. I guess we'll put the sticks to full and... Okay, there you go. Yeah, there's the amps. And it does heat up like it did when you get that many amps on it, but... It's fine. It's gonna come off of that real quick. And it went transition kind of right when I expected it to. We got up to 80 and I don't think I heard a second transition, which is killer. Like, I'm only aware of the one transition on an EMD. So they changed that to be accurate. And God, right then, it over revs when the load gets taken off of it. Right? So give it full beans, all the beans, all the beans, all the beans, all the beans, the beans. Right? And then I slam the throttle shut and it over revs past and then comes down. Yeah, that's so freaking cool. Alt Future, you guys. You guys. So excited by all this. Yeah. Hey, look, the dynamic brakes, they don't respond that fast now when the train's not blowing up behind me. It's fine. It is fine. Take a meteor set there. Blend brake shenanigans. Get it to come back down to orbit. Oh my god. I feel so dumb that we blew up those train cars, guys. You know, it was funny. Not contrived. I was not trying to do that, but oh my god. That was funny. It's fine. It's fine. It's probably fine. Oh, come on. Slow down, you. Don't derail again. Like, please. Please don't derail. Which? C6. Okay. Which is gonna be to the right. Yeah. Yep. Just like that. Kick that off. Kick that on all the way. Come on. Shut up. Which one of you's mad? Oh, the wheel slip. Oh, the traction motors? Do we break a traction? Oh, we might have overheated very briefly. Okay. Not sure how we did that. Obviously, I mean, playing with the sticks and banging them around to full and back all the time. Not ideal. They might have wheel slipped and whatever. Done the thing. It's fine. Coming into the C6 now. This is great. I like it. There's transition. Always, like, unloads the entire way. That's fun. You know, I've never been going fast enough into diesel to experience that. So I don't know if it does that. It probably does. With the amount of other little details that they have curated at this point. I would assume it probably does that. And when we've talked about it a little bit, but when we're talking about transition, it changes the traction motors from being in series to being in parallel. Some version of that. One of you true electricians, train nerds, is gonna be like, no, it's this in the comments, and I'll pin it. That's great. Let me know. I want to say that the two trucks are in parallel to start and then in series later. I think. I don't remember. That way you get more voltage. You get more power to start with, basically, and then they transition, and they almost every EMD does that. It's a pretty neat piece of tech there. So that one goes in the trash bin because we ruined it. That one, $72,600. Made the time bonus. It did not print a report. Interesting. I don't know what's about that because I wanted to look and see whatever. But yeah, let's see. Fees. Yeah. It's fine. Oh, now we only need to make, $360,000. It's fine. We have 84,000, so we'll get there. It's fine. Yeah. And then licenses. We only have, it's like $700,000 worth of stuff to still buy to end the game. Ish. Cool. And then we can see our things. Owned vehicles. Yeah. The C860. What's that? I don't know what these are. And then these other ones that don't have anything. You have to service it manually at the service point. You own it. Congrats. You can't pay for it here. A C8 are those tenders? I don't know what a C is. Interesting. It's fun. And then stats. Oh, what things? Money. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. 19 out of 23. We're almost there. Anyway. Wow, I feel really dumb for having blown up that train that was going to make my profit be even more. But, it's fine. That was that. And, maybe we'll just leave that little spicy gut bomb on the track over there. See if I forget about it and then come upon it at speed. Although I threw away the job. The cars are probably gone. It's fine. That's good quality of life. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll catch you all next time. Yeah, one more time. Cheers, Alt Future. Freaking amazing update. Thank you so much. Laters.